podcast, and as we interviewed during PFL week 1, literally as we're talking, week 1 of the PFL regular season is underway. Week 2 is a week away, Friday, April 12th, from beautiful Las Vegas. Got the Swedish Denzel. We got the former champ, Sadibou Sy, here on the podcast. And Sadibou, long time no talk. Welcome back to the show. Man, how excited are you?
Oh man, first and foremost, thank you for having me. Love being back here. And I'm very excited. I'm very excited. I can't even it's hard to fathom that it's just a little bit more than 1 week left. I'm excited.
So there's a lot we could talk about. We can talk about the fight, we can talk about Josh Silveira, but right now, someone who achieved glory in the PFL, you're coming into like your apartment turned into a penthouse, so to speak, right? Because PFL bought out Bellator, they brought in all these new fighters. There seems to be an energy about this promotion that you've been with. How do you feel about how business has started in 2024? And are you excited for what PFL has done bringing in Bellator?
Oh, of course, I'm excited. As a fighter, I believe that the UFC has done a great job leading the sport and pushing the envelope. Uh, but for us fighters, having options and having more organizations that are legitimate makes it so much better for us. Us having options. So PFL merging with Bellator, buying Bellator, acquiring Bellator, however you want to put it, just makes it so much better. And being in PFL from the first day, seeing this and seeing like how ambitious they are, I love it, and I believe there is more to come.
So it's sort of weird, right? Because it's like you're bringing in a whole roster, but you got a lot of fighters not only coming for the opportunity of what PFL offers, but they have a lot of pride for their previous promotion. So you got a lot of Bellator guys going, we're still a Bellator guy. No matter if we're with PFL, we're still Bellator guys or Bellator women, whatever the case may be. So as a PFL world champ, as a PFL guy who's been here and done that several times, how much pride do you have in representing the Professional Fighters League in this tournament?
I haven't thought about it that way, to be honest, because I wasn't on the PFL versus Champ card as well.
Should have been.
But like,
Should have been.
but I'm proud to be representing PFL and representing obviously my team, myself, my country. So I would say a lot of pride.
And obviously the last fight didn't go your way, but you were on an incredible streak right before that.
Yeah.
What were you able to learn about yourself, not only as a fighter, but as a man, to say, and I'm never here to say a loss is a good thing, right? But there's so many times the best of the best fighters, they can make the most out of it. So what were you able to take away from as a fighter and as a person in your last fight?
Well, there was a couple of different things, but for me, a big part, and I'm not trying to have any excuses or nothing like that, but a big part was for me to push myself to and push my body so hard year in year out to make 170. It wasn't good for me. It was going out over my performance, I believe. So for me now to be able to being able to train hard and then rehydrate and refuel and focus on skills and training and not too much focus on the diet, I believe that's gonna be a major part for my future success.
Yeah, let's talk about that. I didn't know how to bring it up because you never ask anybody about their weight, their age, stuff like that. But how has the adjustment been? Obviously, you're not killing your body, you're not cutting so much weight, but mentally, what has that been like? Is it easier to get out of bed? Is it more motivating to be like, I don't have to drain my body? How's that been?
Yeah, like for me, especially because I was a very big welterweight in terms of size and weight. So making weight one time is one thing, right? But making weight four times, 3 years in a row in a 7-8 month span, like it becomes taxing. It's like you it's always in the back of my mind, like, oh, okay, I can't do this because I have to think about the weight. I can't do that because I have to think about the weight. So the freedom of now and not having to deal with the diet has been amazing. It's new for me. So the first like couple of weeks, I was still like in a little bit of a diet mindset. Like I have to think about what I'm doing. I have to think. But for me to be able to still eat clean, still eat healthy, because that's what I want to feed my body when I'm in training camp, in particular. But not having to go to bed hungry, not having to drain myself, and not having to think about next week and I'm gonna do the crazy water or whatever. Like it's just a huge burden that's not on my shoulders right now.
A few more steaks on the menu, I'm assuming.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Well, and
Yes.
I'm gonna ask a couple silly questions here, and I'm gonna start with this one, right? When you're
Right.
draining your body, and you are one of the most exciting fighters, not only in the PFL, but and I said this the last time we spoke, but in all of mixed martial arts.
Bless you.
And when you are throwing crazy kicks and doing all of that, but your body is drained, can you speak to how comfortable you feel now in training and sparring and practice to still keep your athleticism, still keep your skills, but you're not killing your body while you're throwing all these things? Because I don't think fans realize you can throw all these great kicks and it makes for a great 10-second highlight. But if your
Yeah.
body's drained, it's going to hurt the next day.
Oh yeah, it's a major difference. Like it's like you have a sports car without no fuel. Like you have to, like the difference is so huge. That's why like being disciplined and being like making weight properly is so important. And I in general, I'm not a big fan of weight divisions, of weight cuts, I should say. I would love to see people fight in their natural weight, but that's not the case, unfortunately. So to be able to always come to the practice like fully loaded, but it's different.
So that obviously leads to more power then, which means you got a couple of tricks up your sleeve, don't you?
Oh, of course, you all didn't know that.
But okay, so now I'm gonna go outside of the cage, and obviously I said this the first time we talked, but when you have the nickname the Swedish Denzel, first and foremost, I'm gonna take it outside the cage. I'm gonna go away from the PFL. Did you watch the newly renovated Roadhouse movie with Conor McGregor?
I did.
What did you think?
I think I enjoyed the movie. I was laughing. I was laughing. It was very easy on the eyes, if that's the right phrase. So I enjoyed it.
So do we get you in the next Roadhouse? I mean, now you don't have to cut weight. I mean, you're
So for
Denzel
me,
Washington.
for me, when it comes to that, like acting is definitely something that I wanna pursue, but I wanna do it when I can do it properly, right? So if there was something small, obviously fine, and they wouldn't take time from me and they wouldn't be in the way of my fighting. But other than that, I would until I've stopped fighting, I will focus on fighting.
Well, I want both. And just so you know, I want to make this very clear because I'm a big movie TV guy. So
Gotcha.
whenever 20 years from now, when you're done fighting, I want you to
Yeah.
still come on this podcast so we can talk about movies, TV. I want you in all the
Deal.
movies. I want you in all the TV
Deal.
shows. I,
Deal.
I,
Deal. Deal.
I
Deal.
am not just a fan of you as a fighter. I'm a fan of you as a person. So I want all
Bless
the
you.
things, right?
Same.
It's not just I want to see this person I'm talking to have a good fight. I want you, your family to reap the benefits. I want you to reap the benefits outside the cage because that grows the sport. In the long run, it truly does
I
grow
agree.
the sport.
I agree.
You
I
know,
agree.
to have multiple opportunities and to kind of lead into that, you have had so much success in your time in the PFL, and when you have kind of a rejuvenation by the Bellator editions and new fighters, and you're taking on Josh Silveira on April 12th in Las Vegas. Well, to ask you about Josh in a second, but when you have all this rejuvenated energy around the promotion, what motivates you? Because you've done it, right? You've been
Yeah.
there, done that. You grabbed the title. You could have easily been like, okay, the last one didn't go my way, but look what I did before that.
Yeah.
I'm good. Off into the greener pastures. I'm gonna go make Hollywood movies. You
Yeah.
decided not to. So what motivated you to not only come back and compete, but to do so now in a more healthy way? And really in the best place for you.
Yeah, to be honest, because I fight to become the best version of myself. I want to push myself, and I want to see how far I can push this. I always say I didn't start fighting because of money or fame or anything like that. I started because it was something that I loved, and it was something that was so hard, and it was such a uh, was like the competition, and there were so many aspects of fighting that I loved, and it was so hard, and that made me want it even more. And I still have the same drive, and I still have the same like love for the sport. So until I start taking training days off and starting to not improve and started, you're gonna see me keep doing this shit.
Well, sign me up, because as long as you're doing this shit, I'm doing this shit. So I'm with you on that. But let me ask you this though, because going into this fight against Josh Silveira, and I say this all due respect, so please understand that. But your last fight didn't go your way. His last fight didn't go your way. Is this, because you could look back and say, no, that was last year. It's over. It's done with. But is this a dangerous opening round to take on an opponent, and dangerous for him as well? Because you both got there and you both didn't have the outcome you wanted. So now it's like you both have an opening statement to prove in this opening
Yeah.
week. Is this the most dangerous matchup you could have?
I say yes because that's the matchup I do have. For me, the most important fight is always the next one. The most important like so I'm not looking past anything, and we can talk about all the different like aspects of the game, of the fight. He came to the finals. He didn't. I won it last year, and then I did. Like all of that it's like fun, but when the cage door closes, it's him and me in there, and none of those things is gonna matter. What's gonna matter is him and me and how we match up against each other. And I actually believe that I match up very well against him. I'm not underestimating him whatsoever. I know he's dangerous, especially when he gets comfortable and get the fights where he wanted. So I'm ready. I come prepared. I trained hard, and I'm looking forward to taking him out.
What do you expect in this fight from him, from yourself? What kind of fight should the fans expect?
Oh, I think it's gonna be a high-paced fight. I expect him to come out hard. I'm gonna come out hard, but I just think that my stylistically, I think that I match up very well against him, and I believe that there's certain spots that it's gonna give him a lot of trouble. That I'm very intrigued to explore.
I can't wait for this fight. Sadibou, you just said something though that I kind of want to expand on before I
Yeah,
let you go. You said I fight to be the best version of myself. And I feel like, especially in today's 2024, with
yeah,
social media, with gambling, everybody just wants to see highlights, wins, and money. And they don't understand what you mean by that. So if I
yeah.
were to ask you, take the fight, take Josh Silveira out, take the championships out, why you show up to the gym every day, why you sign up to be in the PFL tournament, why you're conscious about your body, is because, like you said, you want to be the best version of yourself. So, what does Sadibou's best version of himself mean to him?
For me, it's that's a great question. It's a very broad question. For me, the easy way would be to be like, nah, this is hard. I'm gonna do something else. But because it's so hard, because that sparring partner was so hard, I need to have him next sparring. Because it was challenging, I need more of that. Because for me in life, I believe there's always gonna be challenges, and I want to make sure I'm always down to break the barriers and see, okay, just because it's a challenge doesn't mean that I can't go through it. So for me, that's why I go back to I want to be the best because I'm competing with myself. When it's all said and done, I can be proud or whatever of myself. But right now, I don't have time for that. I'm just like I'm in it right now, right? So I'm not smelling the roses. I'm just looking at okay, next is this, and I love it, and I don't take it for granted because my health. I don't take my health for granted. I don't take my skill set for granted. I don't take nothing for granted. So for me to be able to move from Sweden to Las Vegas, spending time away from my family, my friends that I love. I don't want to waste that, right? So I want to make sure that it counts, right? So every time I spend away from my family, all of it, and so for me, it's a privilege, and I wanna squeeze everything out of it.
Well, that's beautifully said, and I appreciate your time. I won't keep you much longer, but we know what's next, right? Obviously, Josh Oliveira, April 12th. We
Yes, sir.
know you're this season. We know you've got kind of a schedule in place. But how
Yes, sir.
much, you said you're not going anywhere anytime soon. So how much longer can we expect to see you around?
Well, I believe I'm gonna be around for a good 5 more years, maybe. We'll see. It all depends. Like I said, when I start taking training sessions off and be like, nah, I don't want to do this now, like that's when it's time to start looking at the gloves and be like, should I really put them on? Because as long as I'm improving, as long as I love it, as long as the fire is burning inside of me, I'm gonna keep going.
Well, we all want you to keep going, and
I
I
will.
can't wait. I can't wait to see you back in there. I have two things I gotta bring up that I'm very upset about. One, you're fighting
Yeah,
a week before the promotion goes to Chicago. Now I no longer live in Chicago, but I would
yeah.
have went home to watch you fight. So yeah, it's a little cheaper to go home to Chicago than it is to go to
Then
Vegas.
Vegas, yeah.
I'm a little upset about
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
but also I'm upset because, man, all due respect, not only you're a fantastic fighter, you're a fantastic human. You're a great representation for men, for great representation for the next generation of young men. And we can't talk once a year. We got to talk more than once a year.
set it up, set it up, set it up, set it
We
up.
got to
I'm
talk
down.
more than once a year.
I'm
So
down. I'm down.
I appreciate your time. I appreciate the conversation. Thank you so much for
Thank you, sir.
your time tonight. We'll see you April 12th in Las Vegas, taking on Josh Silveira, PFL
Yes, sir.
Week 2. Light heavyweight, Sadibou Sy, the champ, moving up, being healthier. I can't wait. The world will be watching. Thank you so much.
Bless you, bro. Take care. And like I said, set it up. We talk more often.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Take care now.